Here with us now is Jonathan Geyer. Jonathan, Program Director at the Institute for Global Affairs at Eurasia Group, just wrote an op-ed that was in the New York Times on Donald Trump's so-called cowboy diplomacy. Welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you.
One of the things that stood out in reading that was that, yes, is cowboy diplomacy, and you know what? Sometimes it works.
Yeah, there's some upsides to this totally unconventional approach that President Trump uses. I mean, risks. There's a lot of risks, but when you look at Gaza, when you look at, I wouldn't say he's gotten 8 peace deals done. That's what he likes to say. It doesn't quite add up.
But he has made some progress.
Right, and when you have presidential power behind these diplomats, it's fascinating. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, no diplomatic experience. These are not the kind of guys that have any of the credentials the Biden or Obama teams did, but they're getting some interesting stuff done. And I'd say they don't care about the taboos. They're breaking all the rules, talking with Hamas, talking with Iran, lifting sanctions on Syria, whatever it takes to get a deal. And I think that's the kind of hard-nosed diplomacy that can work.
It's kind of interesting because it is, you know, sometimes in like Tony Blinken's State Department, as you said, all kinds of experience and people that have been doing this for years and years. And when you come in like a real estate guy and you talk like a New Yorker or whatever, maybe you say, all right, this is something these other folks on the other side of the table are not used to. So to me, that, you know, you can maybe throw somebody off, and you talked about this a little bit in the piece, and you get something you want. The question is, does it last the same way? Do you dot your I's? Do you cross all your T's, you know?
Well, it's like this phase 2 of the Gaza deal. We've got to get there, but are there enough experts that are going to help us? State Department's gutted, National Security Council short-staffed. We need the presidential power of these cowboy diplomats to get the meetings, have a line to Putin, Zelensky, but when you start implementing the deals, you really want those experts, and I hope we hear from them.
Now, Rubio, you know, we didn't mention here, we're talking about Witkoff and Kushner, but Rubio does have a lot of foreign policy experience, certainly from his time in the Senate. He had that end of the year news conference we mentioned earlier where he did talk some about Gaza. All right, so here's the Secretary of State, and I guess we should point out National Security Advisor on what we were talking about, Gaza.
What we're talking about is dealing with something that no one has been able to solve in 30 or 40 years. No one. And it's going to take some time. But I feel generally optimistic that we have the right people at the table with the right motivations to make it happen.
Those last 2 comments, the right people at the table is what you and I are kind of talking or, you know, going back and forth on. What about that thing on motivations and or incentives?
Well, I think we need a concerted effort. The problem with this president, he gets distracted. He wants another deal. He wants 8 for 8. And some of those deals haven't held up. We look at Cambodia, Thailand.
Right.
We look at some of that in Africa. These deals that were big and splashy haven't been working, but we've had hostage releases, 70 hostages released this year. That's as many as Biden did his whole term. So if you're putting the president's men to work on their jets, yes, potential conflicts of interest.
Right.
Yes, potential corruption, but the upsides are kind of fascinating.
You know, they are fascinating. I think when we were talking, like Chris Steiwald and I earlier in the show about where the president is, we were mainly focused on domestic issues and the struggles on the economy. I know Eurasia Group has some numbers there on my telestrator that we can bring up and put on the screen about all kinds of issues. Whether the president is making things better or worse is the question when it comes to on down the list. Now, I'm going to come back to this, but I'm going to highlight right up here international drug trafficking in a moment. But see all the list: immigration, tech, you know, Iran, war in Ukraine. There's a second screen: nuclear risk, where we stand in the world, relations with allies. If I go back to the first screen, the reason I highlighted drug trafficking, that's the only one, right?
12 out of 13 underwater when it comes to foreign policy, national security. The one is international drug trafficking, and I have a theory on that. I mean, that's the issue that people care a lot about. Foreign policy, it's hard to get people to really pay attention to.
Right.
That's one.
Does that mean the public's generally supportive of the Venezuela, of the boat strikes?
Well, that's where I get nervous because it's not a direct line. I don't know if those strikes are actually helping drug trafficking. 100 people killed. You might call them extrajudicial killings. You might call it potential war crimes. But the president's tapping into people's concerns and worries, so I think he's trying to get that support. But
I just found it interesting he's underwater on that many foreign policy issues, because I would have thought that he would be doing better there. It seemed like his presidency was going better when the focus was more foreign policy related. Now, when we've been on domestic issues the last couple months, there's been more struggles politically.
Well, there's a lot of downsides to foreign policy, right? You start asking about nuclear issues, people get negative. There's a lot of complexity, and it's unclear if those Iran strikes in June the president launched did all that much. And I'm just hoping he errs towards diplomacy and less towards militarism, because I think that's what our polling shows at the Institute for Global Affairs, that people want a less militaristic U.S. foreign policy.
Even if it is cowboy diplomacy a little bit, right? All right. Jonathan, thank you. It's good to have you on again. Jonathan Geyer. Now